This is OGTV Main News. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Bukola Agbakeso. On the news, Governor Dapo Abiodun visits communities attacked by bandits in Yewa North. Nigeria's Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala becomes first female Director General of World Trade Organization. Federal government new service chiefs meet northern governors over security issues. Nigeria joins global community plan to end glass flaring by 2025. Former South African President Jacob Zuma faces jail term over corruption. Dignity of labor has to be a national duty. It has to be a part of our nature.
And coming up tonight on the sports segment of the news, Super Eagles return to play in Lagos for the first time in 10 years. This and many more when I return later. My name, Hakeem Akitunde. You're welcome.
Thanks so much for joining us once again. Now the news in full. Nigeria's former finance minister, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has been confirmed as the next Director General of the World Trade Organization. She is the first woman and the first African to lead the international trade body. Her term is scheduled to start on March 1. The term, which is renewable, will expire on August 31, 2025. Quoted in a WTO statement, Dr. Okonjo-Iweala said, a key priority for her will be to work with members to quickly address the economic and health consequences brought about by COVID-19 pandemic. The General Council Chair, David Walker of New Zealand, together with co-facilitators, Ambassador Arad Esplund, Ireland, and Ambassador Desio Castillo, Honduras, led the 9-month DG selection process. Walker extend warm congratulations on behalf of the General Council to Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala on her appointment. President Muhammadu Buhari has promised to protect all ethnic and religious groups in the country. He told governors and traditional rulers to prevent primordial sentiment from boiling over. The president warned that he would not allow any ethnic or religious group to stoke up hatred and violence against others. He spoke amid rising ethnic tension and violence in many parts of the country as a result of the activities of some criminal herdsmen. Many people have been killed and protesters and properties destroyed in different parts of the country. The Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, has outlawed open grazing by herders, and governors have been asked to take steps to end the incessant herders-farmers conflict. In a reaction to reports of the breakout of violence in some parts of the country by some ethnic and sectional groups, President Buhari warned that the government will not allow any ethnic or religious group to stoke up hatred and violence against other groups. Meanwhile, and report just coming in says the governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, has visited the site of the attack on residents of Ojaodo in Yewa North and other communities, promising that a special task force has already been set up to bring an end to ugly incidents. The governor also assured that the state government will foot the bill of all those who were injured in the attack.
This whole situation became aggravated about 2 weeks ago. And we can directly see a relationship between the visit of a particular person to this part of the state that visit, we see that it was a visit that provoked our people here against the banditry or the criminal headsmen that have been coming here to graze farmlands. And that provocation led to the destruction of some of their properties. Since that time, we've seen attacks and counterattacks. On the part of government, we immediately issued a statement denouncing violence in any form or guise. Ogun State is a state that thrives on a mix of diversity of all ethnic groups and even foreigners. That is our strength. So we denounced anyone coming to Ogun State, stoking, violence, promoting discord amongst our people. And we are sure that everybody should go about doing their lawful businesses. Unfortunately, this violence continued. We immediately set up a special task force for this area that comprises of men of the police force, men of the military, men of the civil defense, men of the state security, and even our hunters, to protect everyone, not just the indigents, but everyone, including those that are innocent, foreigners that have been living amongst us for many years. That we have put in place. We have provided adequate logistics for them, but new vehicles, motorcycles, radio equipment, and so on and so forth, and their welfare. Furthermore, I've had to seek the intervention of my colleagues who are from the north, some of which have their indigents that have lived with us for many years, to join us in a stakeholders forum. We'll be having this forum tomorrow. This forum will host all the representatives of the areas that have been affected by this violence, by this recent violence.
That was the governor of the state, Prince Dapo Abiodun, while addressing residents of Yewa North local government on the ugly incident that happened in that area. Still coming from Abuja, the presidency on Monday urged the Nigerian Police Force to publish the names of Fulani herders undergoing trials in various states of the Federation. It also said President Muhammadu Buhari, who is also of the Fulani ethnic stock, is not complicit in the herdsmen crisis rocking many parts of the nation. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garuba Shehu, made this known while speaking on a television program in Abuja. He added the President is more than concerned over the ongoing situation. He is fully conscious of the fact that it is the responsibility of his government to work with Nigerians to secure lives and stop the ongoing crisis, whether it is kidnapping or the new line of ethnic violence. He condemned and he did not support it. The President spoke against it, and it follows that all security agencies must take their line of action from the President's remark and do that which is necessary, which is to stop the escalation of the violent attacks being witnessed in some parts of the country and ensure that it does not go beyond where it has been recorded, he added. He said that the headquarters of the police should take responsibility and publish the full list of Fulani herders who are undergoing trials in various states, particularly in Benue State. The Southwest region has been in the eye of the storm lately over the activities of herdsmen who invade farmlands with their cattle, harass farmers, and in some cases kill them. Some herdsmen have also been accused of kidnapping, rape, and other vicious crimes. A delegation of the federal government and the newly appointed service chiefs on Monday met with northern governors. The meeting, which was held in Kaduna State, had in attendance governors of Kaduna, Zamfara, Kebbi, Katsina, Jigawa, Kano, Sokoto, and Plateau states. The National Security Advisor, Babagana Manguna, northern traditional rulers, clerics were also part of the meeting. In his remarks, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabo, said the meeting is to intimate the governors and other leaders that the security situation in the Northwest is of great concern to the federal government. He also assured that the armed forces is rejigging the nation's security architecture in order to effectively tackle the security challenges in the zone and other parts of the country. Mangana said the meeting is a fallout of his dialogue with service chiefs, heads of law enforcement, security, and intelligence agencies to discuss the threats of kidnapping, terrorism, and other security issues threatening the lives and property of Nigerians. Popular cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi, in his remarks, described the recent conflict in the southwest zone as the handiwork of a few miscreants whose intention is to cause ethnic crisis. He, however, called on all citizens, especially those from the north, to shun any form of reprisal and promote things that will further unite the country. The Chief of the Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Awal Gambo, has reassured stakeholders in the maritime industry a continued security for legitimate operations to thrive as the service chief is leveraging on technology training and synergy. This was during the flag off of Exercise Secure Water 2021 on board NNS Thunder. It was the first sea exercise that the newly appointed Chief of the Naval Staff will be flagging off. A strong worded speech by Rear Admiral Gambo noted that the exercise will provide needed tests across a broad spectrum of maritime operations in order to enhance the security of Nigeria maritime domain to check criminality at sea.
Exercise is therefore a demonstration of nations' resolve to strengthen and consolidate on previous gains by acting decisive against pirates, sea robbers, and other enemies of the state. Such strong commitment will further reassure our regional and international partners of our readiness to weather ongoing partnerships.
It is also pertinent to state that the exercise comes against the backdrop of cases of piracy in the Gulf of Guinea.
He emphasized on deploying of assets for all three operation commands and a total of 14 Nigerian Navy capital ships, 2 helicopters, and elements of the Nigerian Navy Special Boat Service personnel will be participating in the exercise. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Mohammed Adamu, has ordered the immediate deployment of police intervention and stabilization forces to Oyo State to reclaim the public space, reinforce security, and bolster public confidence in the areas affected by the recent crisis in the state. A statement by CP Frank Mba, Force Public Relations Officer, said the deployment, consisting largely of intelligence and operational assets of the force, include 4 units of the Police Mobile Force, PMF, seasoned operatives from the Force Intelligence Bureau, and 1 operational and surveillance police helicopter from the Police Air Wing Department. The intervention force is charged with the responsibility of reinforcing and stabilizing security in the state, preventing further breakdown of law and order, protecting lives and properties, and ultimately enhancing public safety and general security in the state. The intervention force is being coordinated by a Deputy Inspector General of Police, DIG David Folawiyo, who is expected to mobilize all relevant stakeholders towards achieving the mandate of the squad. And still coming from Oyo State, the State Governor Seyi Makinde and his Ondo State counterpart Rotimi Akeredolu has visited the troubled Shasha community in Ibadan, where they appealed for calm and peaceful coexistence between the Hausa community and the Yoruba host. Governor Seyi Makinde, accompanied by Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, lamented the incident, stressing the need for peaceful cohabitation among various groups in the state as panacea for growth and development, while assuring the people that the police and other security agencies will carry out thorough investigation into the crisis towards finding a lasting solution to security challenges affecting the area. Both governors appealed to residents of the area to desist from taking laws into their hands and let peace reign in the community.
step up their game. We ask that they dominate that area. We don't want to lose even half a soul right now. So we'll continue to monitor the situation, and we'll continue to play our part.
We are all brothers. That could be one problem or the other, but this time will soon pass, and that our people should remain calm. Keep your sword. There's no need for us to fight. There's no need for any counter-attack. There's no need for any reprisal. We are brothers.
Government recently imposed curfew on Shasha community due to the ethnic clash that was witnessed in the area last Friday. And still to come in the news, West African Examination Council releases 2020 Senior School Certificate Examination results. More news and reports when I return. Glad to know that you're still there. The news continues. The extended meeting of leaders and elders of the All Progressives Congress in Ogun West Senatorial District will hold on Wednesday, 17th of February 2021. Venue of the meeting is Pavilion Empire, Ilaro. A statement by the chairman of the party in the Senatorial District, Alhaji Mohammed Aziz, says the meeting begins at 10 in the morning. The current administration in Ogun State is driven by the desire to create more opportunities for people to make their life better, which is why the people must continue to give overwhelming support to the government. Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, made this assertion while addressing members of Articulate Motorcycle Owners and Riders Association, Ogun State, during the celebration of 1 year in office by the executive of the association at the Amaran House, Car Wash, Abeokuta. Matthew Shoumi completes the report.
The new executive of Articulated Motorcycle Owners and Riders Association, Ogun State, has since its inauguration 1 year ago focused on the implementation of various programs capable of improving the welfare of members and empowering them for better economic performance and contributions to the development of the state. The celebration of 1 year in office is not just to rejoice for the achievements recorded so far, but provides another opportunity for the executive to show appreciation to members for the support enjoyed in the last 1 year with the empowerment programs. Speaker of the Ogun State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, who was instrumental to the creation of Amaran in Ogun State, said the essence of the establishment was to create more opportunities for members of the party, which is why anyone given a position under the association must see it as an opportunity to further galvanize support for the administration.
All transport unions in the state should copy what Amaran is doing today by empowering the people of Ogun State, particularly our party members. By so doing, we shall be attracting the support of everybody in the state to the advantage of our government.
Commissioner for Transport in Ogun State, represented by Engineer Wale Shokunbi, expressed satisfaction with the performance of the ESCO of Amaran in Ogun State and encouraged them to continue the good job they have been doing.
I've met with the chairman, I've met with the PRO, and in the course of meeting with them, I've seen them to be people of focus.
Special advisor to the Ogun State Governor on Political Affairs, Honorable B. Adeleye, urged the executive and branch chairmen to see their positions as an extension of the party, which must be used to work for the success of the party. Chairman of Amoran in Ogun State, Otunba Nuruddin Alowonle, expressed his happiness to have achieved so much in the last 1 year and promised that more are still coming.
Ìmọ̀ràn mi fún ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ni pé kó má dẹ̀ jẹ gbèsè mọ́, kó máa sanwó tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì lásìkò. 2 years for this time, ètò ìjọlẹ̀ ìlọ lè máa tó wá bá wa ṣe.
Motorcycles were presented to branch chairman of Amoran as a form of empowerment, and others as a female motorcyclist from Odeda was also presented with a motorcycle. They appreciated the new Amoran executive for giving back to the people. Matthew Shoumi, OGTV News.
The founder of Jamiyat Sahadatu Awaliyat, Imam Muhammad Said Awal, has been described as a good and truthful Islamic scholar who is passionate with the service of Allah and humanity in general. Dignitaries present at the opening of mosque, Arabic school and turbaning of Islamic chiefs, as well as birthday ceremony of Imam Muhammad Said Awal, stated this as he clocked 71. Our reporter Yusuf Ghani witnessed the 4-in-1 program held at Idera area in Ushele, Ogun State. His reports.
The convergence of eminent personalities, including some notable Islamic clerics, at the birthday ceremony of the founder of Jamiyat Sa'adatul Awaliyat, Imam Muhammad Said Awal, to appreciate Almighty Allah for his life, especially for attaining the age of 71. Guest lecturer Sheikh Abdul Latif Yassatar disclosed that no matter the circumstances and challenges of life, Allah is the ultimate for every solutions. Former head of service in the state, Engineer Larry Bisiriyu, and National President of Akomoro, Alhaji Shamsuddin Akbelogun, among other personalities, said Alhaji Muhammad Said Awal is a very respectable man with fear of Allah.
Imam Said Lawal is a father in Islam. He's a great scholar, and he's a very good Islamic leader.
He was born 71 years ago. I will pray for him that may Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to guide his steps and his sleeps.
Well, he's a wonderful man. I met him in Mecca about 35 years ago, and he's been doing very well. All I wish him long life and prosperity.
Alhaji Said Lawal. He's very pleasant. I'm very concerned about people's welfare. Whenever he sees you, he wants to know how far you've gone with your life.
Some others reflected that the celebrant is a true Islamic scholar whose dedication and commitment to the service of Allah is worthy of emulation.
He dedicated his life to Islam. He loves everybody.
Said Lawal, olóríire púpọ̀ ni, is a good scholar. Tó jẹ́ sí wípé kò ṣe é gbàgbé.
Alhaji Muhammad Said Awal said, attaining the age of 71 is the true grace of Almighty Allah. Opening of mosque and Arabic school, as well as turbaning, is another aspect of the event to ensure Islam grow in all ramifications. The 4-in-1 program also witnessed presentation of awards to those who have distinguished themselves and contribute to the growth and development of Islam. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Nigeria creative and entertaining industry is set for a rebirth as the federal government signs Memorandum of Understanding with the Bankers Committee for the restoration of the National Art Theatre Igomu, Lagos. The agreement for the private sector funded 21 billion naira project was facilitated by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Built 45 years ago as a national monument to the African culture, National Art Theatre Igomu, Lagos has in the last 2 decades gone moribund, failing to provide the needed support for the nation's fast-growing creative industry. Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has been working with the Central Bank of Nigeria to save the national assets by partnering with private sector. he is excited on this particular occasion as he signs a series of agreements with the bankers committee to restore the facilities.
Part of the restoration of the National Theatre, there will be the development of a purpose-built cluster to provide world-class facilities for the Nigerian creative industry.
It is going to be a 21st century building. It is going to be a building that will breathe in IT, in everything, such that when we are holding international conferences, IMF World Bank meetings, it will be beamed in different parts of the world without any interference. That is what we are trying to develop here.
We are also working to support the creation of the Lagos Creative and Entertainment City, which will provide employment to millions and millions of youth.
With a project capacity to generate about 35,000 jobs, and after construction, the project will help in addressing some of the concerns of the Nigerian youth.
Solution that has been solved. But more importantly, I see urban regeneration. The president has fully supported this project.
Contracts for the project were also awarded during the ceremony. With a timeline of 15 months, work is expected to start very soon, and Nigerians can look forward to a new national theatre. Over the decades, there has been a recurrent and sustained argument that the Nigerian state, like its counterparts in Africa and other countries of the developing world, underperform due to lack of state capacity to deal with the contemporary complexities of governance, thus making experts clamoring for restructuring. This report examines the state of governance in Nigeria and assesses the factors militating against the promotion of public goods and effective service delivery in the country.
Leadership in Nigeria over the years has been described as self-interest driven and other primordial considerations which takes priority over that of the general public. The nations, according to respondents, has failed in key major areas ranging from security of lives and property, promotion of the rule of law, and provision of social amenities for its entire citizenry. The nature and characters of the political leadership explains the Nigerian state's incapacity for effective governance, hence the need for political and economic restructuring.
Nigerians should sit together and restructure. The error in the head of people is that they think restructuring is all about East going, West going on its own, and South going on its own. No, restructuring is about sitting together to say it the way we want to be run, the way we want the country to go, the system of government, and how we want it. But to me, we need to live as Nigeria, as one body. But to move forward, we must state clearly how we want to move forward. And that is the need why we have to, there's national conference to look into how to restructure this nation. Economic restructuring, political restructuring, social restructuring. We need all that to move forward.
On the current state of the nation, ranging from the recent change of guards in security leadership, Fulani herdsmen clashes in the southwest, CBN recent ban on cryptocurrency, Nigerians admonished federal government to be more proactive.
In the 21st century, the CBN is supposed to follow other civilized countries, where the central bank of other countries have allowed cryptocurrency and other IT-oriented currency transfer. So what they should do is to regulate the cryptocurrency thing. If they know they cannot regulate it, of course, what they have said is a way to tell us they can regulate.
There's no economy in the world, talking about the developed economies like the US, the UK, most European countries, and so on and so forth, that are where they are today, if not for the rate of the attention they pay to entrepreneurship.
Government should address the economic challenges first, create an enabling environment for economy to strive, create jobs, opportunity, and when that one is done, then the nepotism, tribalism should be put to the barest minimum.
Government at all levels were, however, enjoined to invest more in education and youth empowerment to take the nation out of its current state and make it one of the best among the Committee of States. Benga Adekoya, OGTV News.
The West African Examinations Council WAEC announced Monday that 39.82% made credit in 5 subjects, including mathematics and English, in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination WAEC for private candidates 2020 second series. The head of National Office, Patrick Aragan, also announced the opening of registration for the 2021 WAEC for school candidates 3 months behind schedule. Announcing the release of the WAEC for private candidates 2020, Aragan said the result was an improvement in performance in the examination in the last 2 years. 24,491 candidates representing 39.82% obtained credit and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. Out of this number, 12,040, that is 49.16%, were male candidates, while 12,451, 50.84%, were female candidates. Aragan, however, warned that the performance should not be the basis for judging how well candidates did in the examination, as it is considered for a remedial one for candidates seeking to make certain subjects. Of the 61,509 candidates who took the examination, 5,548 have their results been withheld because of alleged involvement in examination malpractices. Incessant strike has become a norm that is grossly having adverse effects on the growth of the nation's education industry. Apart from disrupting the academic calendar, it has also increased the level of crime in society. Our reporter, Bumi Adigun, in those special reports, takes a look at its effects on students as regards academic performance.
Incessant strike in Nigeria's institutions of higher learning has in no small measure contributed to low quality graduates and disruption of academic calendar, whereby parents can no longer determine or know when their wards will be graduating from school. Mr. Lanre Adekunle is a retired principal. He called on government to declare a state of emergency in the education sector.
The issue of strike in Nigeria, especially as it concerns education, is a disaster to this nation, and is doing a lot of havoc to the upliftment of Nigeria and even the diaspora in general. Development of a nation depends on the quality of education, and there is no way you always have a strike that will not adversely affect the quality of education.
Comrade Olamide Lawal and Comrade Aziz Amou Adeyemi are former students' union leaders who have engaged the government on similar issue, but are now on the side of the government, trying to chart a way forward in this regard.
I would say both sides are at fault, the government and the unions. They are always at fault because we've gotten to the level that employee determines what's going to happen. You understand? We are in a situation whereby the employer also refused to make available what is necessary.
For all stakeholders to please see reasons for us for them, for unions, to enter a negotiation with the fair negotiations their predecessors have made with government. Insisting on 1999 negotiation or 2009 negotiation, just as if we are deliberately drawing back the progress of the country.
Comrade Kehinde Damilola Simeon, Chairman, National Association of Nigerian Students, Ogun JCC, on his part, called on government to make education top on its agenda and not to forget the UNESCO's stand on what should be earmarked for the sector in the budget.
They are doing nothing but building the future of the country, because they will leave one day and it's we, the students, that will come back to take that mantle of leadership. So if you're not funding education, there is no how it won't affect us negatively.
In all, most of the industrial actions, either to agitate or correct some anomalies, have done the education sector no good as academics continue to suffer. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
Across the globe, business entities or organizations, including government departments, agencies, and multinational companies, are required to register, while failure to do so could potentially hinder the growth of the business. In this special report, Adebola Oshomoji takes a look at the benefits of business incorporation or registration. A report.
A registered company has its own legal identity. Therefore, when third parties contract with a company, they do so with a separate legal entity and not the individual directors and stakeholders. This means that companies survive the death or incapacitation of the owners, and it's possible for the directors and stakeholders involved with the company to change over time.
You know, if you don't have an entity, we don't know who we are dealing with. One of the principles of legal entity is that those legal entity can sue and they can be sued. But if you trade in your name alone without registration, we don't know the person we are dealing with. We are just an individual.
One of the things that affect people from getting finance to do business is their traceability. And for anybody to be traceable, you must have a registered business. So that's why it is essential that people have registered business.
Experts said registering business gives potential customers confidence that they are dealing with a reputable organization or individuals.
I always say your name is your identity, and your name is something that others can have the same name you have. So what authenticates your own name with us and with the business community is the registration. So one, it secures the name you have, your business name. You understand me? It secures your business name. Then you have the opportunity of opening a corporate account with his name. For instance, I was trying to buy something online a few days ago, and the lady sent me a personal account name. I rejected. I said, no, I want a corporate account to pay into. And so it gives you a corporate identity.
Customers and suppliers may likely want to transact with such businesses and makes it an uneven playing field when competing with registered companies. Adebola Oshomoji, OGTV News.
On the business segment of this news, foreign investors pull out a total 1.01 trillion naira in nation stock market in 2 years. More business news shortly. Thanks for joining us on the business segment of the news.